And joining us now on the phone is David Koenig. He is the CEO of UCS Advisors Incorporated. David, welcome back to the program.
Thanks for having me, Don.
You know, David, in addition to running a public company and taking care of their business, CEO of a public company has two very important jobs. One, of course, is raising funds. Another, of course, is investor relations. Your company helps with both of those things, don't you?
Yes, we do. We actually work with the CEO and also the board of directors on helping the company look at their short-term and long-term goals. A lot of people forget a publicly traded company is like a living organism. It's constantly moving and constantly changing. And as well as, too, we also work on their investor relations aspect of the company, working and talking with their lenders, communicating with the public, to their shareholders, and also really coming up with a proper plan to communicate what's happening to the company to the public.
What's really interesting, too, is, of course, you're a former public company CEO, so you know what I'm talking about when I say this. But CEOs are inundated with phone calls from people trying to give them money, lend them money, and sometimes the terms are not to the company's favor.
You're absolutely right. And a lot of times that's just because people just don't have the proper experience. A great example is if you look at a lot of the CEOs and COOs of publicly traded companies in the marijuana sector, it's their first time they've done this. They don't realize sometimes some of the deals that are being given to them. They don't realize some of the small little caveats that could be triggered if they default on the loan or on the lending. So it's really always good to have an extra set of eyes to really look at it.
Now tell me what you do to help companies steer clear of these kinds of deals.
What we do is we actually talk with the companies about their short-term goals and their long-term goals. We also look at their pro formas. And it's amazing how many companies don't have a pro forma that goes for more than 12 months. Because that's really going to determine what kind of money you need and how quickly you need it. One of the biggest mistakes we see all the time is people say, oh, I need $1 million. Okay, how quickly do you need it? And do you do the $1 million all up front or in several tranches? And if you need it in several tranches, what size tranche do you need? And that's what we tell all our clients, failure to plan, planning to fail.
Well, basically, it sounds good to say you need $1 million. Maybe you don't even know what you need it for.
Absolutely. And what's actually interesting is actually this Saturday in Atlantic City, New Jersey, our company, UCS Advisors, is actually giving a 3-hour seminar on investor relations and actually how to raise your social capital to actually raise capital.
Well, you mentioned the marijuana business a moment ago. That's something that you're kind of an expert in. Why don't you tell us about that?
Sure. I've actually been involved in the marijuana sector since 2010. And I've worked with companies in over 15 plus states around the U.S. and also several countries as well, too. What's really interesting is when it comes to the marijuana sector, there's a lot of great opportunities for investors. But there's so much opportunities, they need someone to kind of show them the proper deal flow. And for the marijuana companies, there's a lot of money out there that people want to give you money, but it's about making sure you take the right type of money, like we just mentioned before.
Well, the burgeoning growth in the cannabis sector has been nothing but amazing to watch. It's basically like the internet was 20 some odd years ago.
You're absolutely right. And then if you want to take a step further, we also have the hemp industry as well, too. Hemp is the newest commodity to hit the market in the last 15 plus years. So between the marijuana sector and the hemp industry, I mean, we have some really great opportunities for investors and also for new companies to get started.
Well, of course, marijuana is legal in many states, but hemp is legal federally now, so that makes a world of difference to some people.
It does, and what a lot of people don't realize is actually the return on investment for hemp right now is actually significantly higher than marijuana in some states.
Well, it's interesting, because I know you and I will be talking more about hemp companies in the future. What do you see as the 5-year plan for the hemp business?
For the 5-year plan for the hemp business, one, you're going to see a lot more industrial hemp being made. Secondly, you're going to see the return on investments for the hemp industry to go down. It's going to start to level off. We always tell people right now, within the next 18 to 24 months is some of the best return on investment you're going to get in the hemp industry. And also, probably within the next 18 to 24 months, you'll see the FDA put out some more rules and regulations regarding hemp.
Once again, David Koenig, UCS Advisors. David, great insight. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Don.